Hey everyone, welcome back to Wix Fix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today's video is going to be the third episode in our series called Fix Your Wix. It's basically a series where I take one of your websites and I redesign the homepage. I love doing this series and you guys seem to really like watching it. However, we haven't been able to make very many of these because we haven't had too many submissions. So if you'd like this series and you want to be a part of it, you can go over to our website. The link will be in the description and you can request being on a future episode of Fix Your Wix. For today's episode, we are going to be doing a nice homepage for Julian Lambert. He teaches piano lessons online, mostly classical music. And as we can see here is his current homepage. So for today's video, we are going to be fixing up this website and I think we can really improve on it. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the header, one thing you might notice is that in the header, there is only a menu, but on the homepage section, he has his logo and the login bar. Both of these things should be in the header. So first, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the logo. I'm also just going to go ahead and bring down the menu temporarily. And in the header, what I want to do is go ahead and give us 2 columns. Now I'm going to go into the column layout and we're going to give us a 3366 split. That way over here, we can have the logo and over here we can have the login bar and the menu items. But before I actually start adding those things, I actually want to change the color of the background to like this white color. I think this looks a lot nicer. Just like that. And over here in this left column, let's go ahead and add the logo. Okay, we'll bring down the size quite a bit and we'll stick it into the column. Just like that. Now I do want to make sure it's centered, so we'll just come over here to the toolbar and center it just like that. Great. Next to that, I want to have the name of the website. So we'll come over to text. We'll drag out this heading 5. We'll put it right here. And we'll change the text to Julian Lambert. Okay, next let's go ahead and copy and paste this. Bring it right underneath the Julian Lambert. And we'll go ahead and insert his like slogan, which is online piano lessons. And with this one, we'll go ahead and make it quite a bit smaller. Maybe we'll try 16, maybe 14. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab all 3 of these elements and we're going to group them together just like that. Now over here in the right hand side, I want to have the login bar. So I'm just going to go ahead and immediately drag this one in right here. For the design, we're going to make sure that we remove the fill. For the drop down, let's go ahead and give it the white background, just like that. For text, we'll make it black. And same with the drop down. And now the last thing we're going to add in here is the menu. However, the menu you can see is really long because we actually have a ton of pages here on the channel, here on the site. As you can see, we have 85 of 100, and this is something we're currently working on with him. So we're actually going to be getting rid of all of these unnecessary pages and turning them into dynamic pages. So this is something that we really won't have to worry about, but we're still going to have some pages here in the menu. So let's go ahead and hide the ones that we won't need. And maybe the things that we do want to show is about. So we'll pull this out. Maybe we'll want contact and maybe we'll want subscriptions, just like that. And then after we are done showing only the necessary pages, what we're going to want to do is go into the design. Let's go ahead and make it the text black. We'll also go over to clicked and set this to black as well. And then maybe for hover, we can do that nice gold color. Now we'll go ahead and bring down the size of this and we can stick it right in here next to the login bar. Okay, great. Now that is already looking a bit better. Let me actually switch contact and subscriptions. just like that. And then maybe for subscriptions, we can go ahead and change the name of this page to pricing. So now our menu is going to look like this. Now, if you don't want your home linked in the menu, you can feel free to take that out too. In fact, I would probably recommend it because most people already know that the logo typically links to the home page. So if you want to, you can grab the logo and link it to the home page just like that. So now, since you have something that links to the home page, you can now get rid of the home page in your menu, and your menu would be even smaller. You want to keep in mind that for your menu, you want to have as little components in it as possible. Next, we're going to be working on the following section, which here we are greeted with a long little letter by Julian. And I think this is something that would do better maybe on the about page or maybe even contact page, but something on the home page, maybe it doesn't really work here. So what we can do is just go ahead and delete this area. And maybe for the strip, we'll choose an image, and maybe we'll choose something like this. I think this one actually looks pretty cool. We'll bring this down quite a bit. And now I can see us having some text right here, and it kind of, since it fades to black, we can make this text white. So let's go ahead and add some text. We'll add this heading 3 because it's nice and big. We'll set the width to 800. We'll make sure it's centered. We'll edit the text, and we'll do something like classical piano lessons and music theory. We'll go ahead and change the text to white, and we'll make sure it is centered. Just like that. And then above that, let's go ahead and copy this text. Maybe above it, but a lot smaller. Maybe something like 24. And with this text, we can go ahead and do something like the gold to give it a little accent. And maybe 24 pixels is a bit too big. We can do something like 16. And then underneath that, we can go ahead and add a nice little paragraph. Once again, this paragraph, we'd want it to be white so our users can read it. And we also want it to be centered. And then last but not least, maybe we can have 2 buttons here. So I'll drag out this button right here. This one can link to the lessons page, which is actually video test design 1, but we're working on that one. And then before I do anything, let's go into design. And there's kind of 2 ways we can design this. I think maybe having a nice, continuing with the gold right here, maybe instead of fill, we can do a nice border of gold. We can set this to 1. And then the text we can also set to this gold as well. Something like that. And then if we copy and paste it, bring it over here a little bit, then the second button can be for the pricing plans, which would link to the subscriptions page. We'll group these together and make sure it's centered on the page. So now we'll have something that looks like that. And I think this is already starting to look really nice. Now for the background, let's go ahead and apply a parallax. And maybe we can also apply a black color and lower the opacity of the image ever so slightly, maybe around 60. Perfect. So now if we go ahead and look at it, we're going to notice it looks a lot cleaner like that. And maybe down below here, we can go ahead and copy this paragraph text, move it right here at the bottom. We'll say scroll down, and maybe we can add a little decorative arrow, something like this. We'll go ahead and flip it, and we'll change the color to gold here as well. Okay, great. I think that's looking really nice. Down below the hero section, we're going to have something that kind of shows what they offer. So 1, music theory, and 2, piano lessons. So here we might want to do something a little bit different. For now, I'm just going to scoot this one down quite a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and add another section or strip here, because we are working in an older editor. So what we're going to do is maybe give us like 800 pixels to play around with. Maybe in this one, we'll have some text that says our lessons. And of course, we're going to want this to be kind of black. And then maybe we can copy this one down, put it right above our lessons. And then this one can say what we offer. And actually, instead of our lessons, maybe we can say music lessons. And then in here, let's go ahead and add a repeater. And in this repeater, we're basically going to list off music theory and the piano lessons. And one reason I really like using repeaters here instead is, one, repeaters are a bit more responsive when it comes to bigger and smaller screen sizes. And if you ever want to add like music lessons, or in some of your cases services later on, then having a repeater there with a consistent design will save you time. So for this repeater, I'm going to go through each one of these and remove the background color. There we go. And now our containers don't have a background. Then what I want to do is go into box, and we're just going to drag out this black box right here. We'll fit it inside of the repeater item. For the design, we're going to remove the opacity, the fill opacity. And we want to add maybe the gold border. So we're going to add gold, make this 1 pixel. For the corners, maybe we can make it like 24. Maybe that's a little too much, maybe 12. I think that looks really nice. Then we'll go ahead and send it to the top left. And we'll make it stretch to the container, just like that. And I'm just going to bring down the repeater just a little bit. Inside of the box, we're going to have some text. We're going to make sure it's centered up in here. And then we're going to make sure that this text is centered here as well. For this one, we're going to say piano lessons. And then in this one over here, we can have music theory. Okay. And then since those are our only lessons or music lessons, or in some cases services at the moment, we can go to manage items. We can grab this third item, press the 3 dots and press delete. And we'll do that for item number 4 here as well. Just like that. And then inside, what we're going to want is some paragraph text, a paragraph text. So we'll go ahead and paste this in just like that. We'll make this black, or maybe like a lighter dark gray, something like that. And then just like up here, we'll go ahead and grab one of these buttons from the hero section, and we'll put it in the repeater, which actually, let's go ahead and before we put it in the repeater, let's go ahead and change the text to learn more. And then we'll stick it in the repeater. That way both repeater items already have the text and we don't have to add it twice. Just like that. I think this looks really, really nice. And then if you wanted to have some text here, we could also add, let's just do a paragraph, and we can have something that looks like this. Perfect. And then we'll just kind of bring down this section just a little bit to give the same amount of space up here, down here as well. Okay, great. Now this section right here is about a video exchange. I think this would be more beneficial maybe on the contact page or something like that. Maybe not really on the home page. So we'll go ahead and delete this section. It's not what you want to drive your users to. The main thing is piano lessons and music theory lessons. So you want to drive more subscriptions to your paid content rather than focusing on something that is a less of a priority for you to run your business. So we're going to cut that one out of the home page, but again, this can be something that you can add on like a different page. The next thing that we're going to do is maybe just add an image. So let's go ahead and add a strip. Maybe we'll make it kind of big, and then we'll change the background to an image. And of course, we'll try to find another really good picture of piano, just like that. And we can go ahead and add a background scroll effect here as well. So now if I go ahead and preview the site, here is what we're going to have. And so far, I think it's already looking really, really good. And as you can see here, we do have a page background. So I'm just going to change this to a color because we don't need, if we're not really going to be showing this, then we don't really need it in the background taking up load time. So let's just go ahead and change this to white, just to a color, and it's going to help us save on load time for the page as well. And the last section that we're going to kind of do from his homepage is going to be something like this. This one in particular, I don't think needs to be here on the homepage. This seems like something it should be on the about page maybe, but this does make me think it might be kind of cool to have a section about yourself here on the homepage. So if we come all the way up here, maybe we can add a new strip. Let's go ahead and give us some room to work with. Maybe this one can be like 600 pixels. Maybe for the background, maybe we can choose the same picture as up here. So actually, let me go ahead and delete this strip. We're gonna copy this strip down like this. We'll make this one 600 pixels. And for both of these strips, let's go ahead and set the scroll effect from parallax to reveal, just like that. And now in this strip down below, let's go ahead and add another strip, and we'll make sure it's inside this strip right here. Maybe we'll make this one 500 pixels, and we'll make sure it's centered in here. Now we'll click the stretched little thing right here, and we'll bring it in as much as possible to right about here. Perfect. Now let's add a little column. Then let's duplicate it real quick. And actually, let's go ahead and grab the background strip. And instead of 190, maybe we'll do like 150, something like that. With this strip above, we'll make this one 460. And we'll make sure it's inside this strip right here. Perfect. And then we'll just bring it in by 20 pixels. Just like that. Now, what we can do is go into layout and we'll say add column. We'll go into the column settings and maybe we will do something like 4060. Over in the left column, let's add an image of him, just like that. And then over here on the right, maybe we can add some text. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of the text from his about page. We'll go ahead and copy it. We'll come back over to our home page and we'll paste it in right here. And let's actually pull it under it for now while we edit it. And I think for something like this on the home page, we can keep it kind of simple and sweet. We'll go ahead and change the font to match the rest of the site. We'll remove the bold and we'll change the color to black. And we'll bring it over here into this strip right over here. And then maybe underneath it, what we can do is add some social media. So we'll go ahead and bring this one out right here. Place it right there, and maybe we'll make this quite a bit smaller, like 22. So now what we should have, if we scroll up all the way to the top, is a nice website that looks like this. I think that looks really, really nice. And if we wanted to, we could bring up this section and maybe even have this strip kind of overlaying it a little bit. Something like this. So now if we scroll, here's what we're gonna see. And I think that looks really, really clean. The last thing I kind of want to have here on the website is some of his testimonials. Now, I don't think he's really been taking testimonials, but I do think it would be pretty beneficial to have, especially for new users that maybe want to learn classical piano lessons or music theory, but maybe they don't really know which website or which courses or whatever is going to work best for them. For a site like this, you really do want to try to have testimonials on your website to kind of use as social proof to prove that your lessons and your services actually help people. So what we're going to do is come up to add. We're going to go to interactive. And let's just go ahead and pull out this testimonials section right here. I think this looks really nice, but we just need to, clean it up. Maybe make the background color the gold and just kind of change the fonts over to what we need them to be. And I think that looks really nice. Now I do find it a little bit weird that there is gold here and then a little bit of gray here. So maybe if we choose the background color, we set this to the gold, it kind of will look a little bit nicer, I think. And honestly, I think the last section that we'll really need for this website is a call to action. So if we go ahead and pull out another strip, let's go ahead and change the background to another image of a piano. And maybe we can go ahead and set a background color to be black and then lower the opacity of the image. And then we can go ahead and set a parallax effect to it here as well. And then let's add some text. We'll make sure it's centered. We'll also edit the text, make sure it's centered and white. And maybe we can say ready to start your musical journey. And we'll bring it in just a little bit, something like this. We'll center it. And then let's go ahead and grab just these buttons right here. We'll paste them right below. And then we can bring up the strip just a little bit. And the last thing we have here on the page is his footer. Now personally, I don't think that this is a bad footer. I think this is actually pretty good. You might just want to copy the logo from the header, maybe the menu, and then I really like that he has an email here and some of his socials. So this one really wouldn't need to be cleaned up all that much. But for the most part, I think this website is starting to look really, really clean. But that's basically going to wrap it up for today's video. If you all did enjoy, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Also, if you want to have your homepage redesigned for a video, be sure to reach out on our website. The link will be in the description below. But thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.